And welcome back for another episode of Life Be Like. Today we've got Sophia, who is a singer from Georgia. She's in a band, and we want to speak to her about her music, creativity, her life, and everything sort of in between that. So if we start, firstly, thank you for being on.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, lovely. It's going to be a good one, I think. So we worked together recently on like a music video style video, but I just wanted to sort of start way back when. So you come from Georgia. So were you born in Georgia?
I'm born in Georgia, yeah.
Nice.
I'm born in a small village, like a Coventry.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
I call Coventry my city, which is in Georgia. You know, it's very similar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It has so similar culture, everything, you know, people, everything. So, yeah. And I raised in that town.
Yeah.
And after I started to study, you know, uni, I was 10 years in other city, you know. If you heard about Tbilisi, capital of Georgia, I lived there 10 years alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went from, so were you studying in the capital?
I studied in the capital of Georgia, law. I'm a lawyer, yeah.
No,
oh,
nice.
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But it's never been my main
musician.
thing in life, to be honest, never, because it was like random thing, you know, because when you are not in the stage of your life when you decide to like be you and do what you want, and it came to me very how to say it, not early in my life, you know,
quite
a little bit late, you know, because Georgia is very how to say it? Oh my God,
conservative. Is it quite?
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Conservative country and beliefs, you know, parents.
Kind of old school beliefs.
Everyone
you
is
should be a
telling
lawyer,
you what to
doctor,
do. You know?
teacher, okay. And
you do what's best for them, what they want, not what you want.
Yeah.
And I was always like that. I was living the life I didn't want to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was so hard. But I realized that only thing that I want to do is singing.
Nice. Yes.
Even my parents, especially my father, he never wanted me to be a singer, never. But I did what I did in Georgia. I used to go to contests alone, you know. I did it by myself. But the only one person in my life was my mom, who was always with me. She was supporting me a lot. And my brother, you know, he have a contract from UFC.
Yeah, I saw that. Congratulations to your brother.
It's crazy.
Really?
I can't believe.
What, MMA? Wow.
A little boy from the small village. He did so many things in life, and he deserved it because it's very motivational for me to see him to moving forward and to be strong, and I want to do the same. And you know, as you get older and older, you realize that you should go for it, what you want, and do what you want.
Never hold
and
back.
Be you. Just despite of all, you should just do you.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
the main thing in life, I think.
Yeah, that's it's very interesting that music sort of come a little bit later, and the fact that you did law, because law typically is kind of, you know, like when you have people like we spoke before on the shoot about creativity, and you have people who are kind of more creative, they're not necessarily always as academic, if you know what I mean. But obviously you've sort of done both, which is very interesting. So it's almost like you're now allowed to express your creativity. You probably had it all held in for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that kind of has changed you as a person, being able to express that?
You know, when I look back, I really see myself different now. I'm different in every way. And I was 4 years old, to be honest, when I first had my first audition. My first steps on the stage. I was 4 years old, and I sang very, very old Georgian song, you know, very old Georgian song. And I remember myself that day, and I felt something. And I remember that feeling.
You feel it, yeah.
I remember that feeling, really. And I don't know why, but since that time, that feeling is with me always, you know. I felt special when I was on the stage, you know,
Yeah.
because I really wanted to do that all my life. I realized that when I was 4 years old, and that I've got that feeling now as well.
It's
you
a
know,
pivotal moment. That's what we were going to say, because that
Yeah.
leads us on to the question. That is, would you say that's like a big pivotal moment in your life when you experienced that?
yeah,
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, because I suppose that everyone has their moments that, you know, like that kind of dictate the path that you go in your life. So like there'll be a moment where he can remember where music first entered, and he realized as a person, this is something for me. And then same for me with like film. And I think everybody, especially in creative stuff, you have a moment where you realize that's the kind of person you are, if you know what I mean. That because it's
like a light bulb moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
realize your destiny. Almost, people say it's like your calling.
Your destiny, it's right. Yeah. And I see you guys that you have a destiny and you're go and smash it. And I see, because it's, you know, you feel that as well.
It's infectious, isn't it, though?
You can feel easy if someone is happy or not.
Yeah.
Because I think that the main thing in life, and you know, to find the purpose and to be you.
Yeah.
It's all about evolution, though, isn't it? You've got, as long as you need to be doing something which is making your character always evolve, and I feel like creativity is
the
so
best way
big.
to do that.
Yeah, because you're always analysing yourself. You're always saying, "Is this as good as my last bit of work?"
as well, isn't
yeah. So, and it's part of you. So, you know, I feel like when you're creative, you know, it's something that has to be really thought about each process, because at the end of the day, you're putting your work out. You want to be perceived in the best way. So
and when it's very personal to you, so it's like self-expression. That in its own way, like he was saying about, you have to kind of look at yourself. When you express things, you find out new things about yourself. So when you're creative, you kind of grow each time you're creative, if you know what I mean. So I feel like creative people maybe are
you're always learning. You're always learning about yourself.
They evolve
constantly.
I think creative people are free. Very in mind. They don't have limits. They understand that there is no limits, and there is no good or bad. You know, they understand that very well. They don't have beliefs, or you know, they
more
are free.
Open-minded.
Yeah, it's not rigid.
Open-minded. They are open-hearted. They want to do more, to be great.
Yeah, be a better
Just
person.
not be average person, you know. I always wanted to be great. I don't want to be average person. And you know,
I love that.
I love that.
I started to talk about Georgian culture. I adore Georgia. I love my country. I will never replace my country. But the main thing is that something in Georgia that believes they holding people back.
Yeah.
I see it.
Well, it's not very progressive. Would you say it's not very progressive?
Not very progressive, and it's not helpful. It's not helpful in life. So yeah, I can say it's a women rights, everything in general.
Which is old culture, isn't it? It's the old tradition. I mean, you do see a lot of countries that have old traditions which hold people back.
I appreciate the traditions. I raised in that traditions. I really appreciate the traditions, but there is some stuff, some things that it's not acceptable.
It's about
for me.
having a mix, isn't it? So like, say you can take, because I'm a bit like that with like my views on things. I have traditional views, but I also then have like
Modernist.
very modern progressive views, and I like to be free and stuff. So it's like you don't have to get rid of all tradition to be open and free. But one thing that really kind of, from what you were saying then, strikes me, because obviously I know that you're married, and your partner's extremely supportive of what you're doing. And how do you find, how did you sort of find that balance? Because obviously he's Georgian as well.
Yeah, he's Georgian.
So he's kind of supportive of you almost breaking the rules from where you're from. You know what I mean?
100%. He's very supportive, and with him, I feel that I can do more stuff and be me and be myself. He's always telling me to be myself and to be free.
Yeah.
So I'm doing.
I feel like when you do create for yourself, though, that's when you said you want to be the best version. When you create for you, that's when you become the best version. I feel like when people create for others, that's when you sort of dull down your creativity.
Yeah.
So it's about making sure every bit of work is just true to
And
your
having them supportive people around you makes such a big difference, because
so
people
important.
like say if you had a husband who was the opposite, wasn't supportive and stuff, it dulls down that freedom and that creativity. And so like I think that's a special thing, that you've got someone especially who is from a traditional background as well, and is then embracing the sort of
new way.
Yeah.
It's right.
But obviously, it goes back to the happiness. Obviously, everybody wants to see their partner happy. So if that's what drives
Well,
you,
not
on,
everybody though. That's
Not
good
everybody.
people. Good
Yeah,
people.
but
Yeah.
Only good people.
you can argue why would you be together. But I understand what you're saying.
But
It's
there's a
like-
lot of them people.
Yeah, they do
around,
it. Yeah, well, of course, just toxic energy, isn't it? But
Yeah,
I mean,
you
it's-
always feel toxic energy. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
even your energy introduces you. Even when you speak,
Mhm.
you know, even when you don't speak.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you
your
feel it.
energy is you.
Yeah.
I feel energy. I don't know. I really feel energies. I can
Yeah.
read.
We are
people.
magnets,
I
so
know.
like you feel, you know, when you don't like someone, like you can like when you don't get on with
Yeah.
someone, like it's really clear, like oh, I'm not getting on with this person.
Or
Like,
dodgy vibes straight away.
well, that's what
like-
they call it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
vibrations, don't
Yeah.
it? It's actual
Yeah, yeah,
vibrations,
yeah.
bad vibes.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you don't sync with that person because we are energies.
It's
so.
easy. I don't know. For me, it's easy to read people's energy and to understand
Yeah.
What they're
where
about.
they come from.
Do you
or-
think that that's
I don't
that?
know.
Like you were saying earlier, you were kind of saying that as creative people, you get that. Because I feel that, and he probably feels that as well. Like I can pick up on things that other people don't. When I meet someone, if there's something off, like everyone else is fine or just ignores it, say, because they don't feel it. But I can feel if there's something off, and I feel like maybe that is a trait that comes along with creativity because you feel things a bit more.
You're very
So you're a bit
perceptive.
more open to and a bit more perceptive to the feelings and the vibes maybe.
But now I think that if someone knows themselves
Mm-hmm.
and they are accepting the truth, who they are,
Nothing
they
to
are
fear.
free.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and they can
Yeah.
accept truth about other people as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
That
can see the
get
truth
upset.
in other people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
say
they are
this.
calm about others.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if a person don't want to accept something about himself and he thinks that he's always right in life, and everybody's,
But that's not, you're not
Wrong.
going to evolve
Yeah.
with that, are you? Yeah.
they will never understand you in life, never.
Yeah.
And you will be never good enough for them, never.
Yeah.
But
That's a good way to look at it.
That is part of life, though.
you should let go.
Yeah.
You should let go.
Mm.
No inhibitions, but I think obviously you're always going to meet people in life, so it's obviously you have to just select the right people.
Yeah.
who you
It's
hang
so
around
important to select right people
Yeah.
around you because that energy becomes you as well. Because that energy creates you.
with. Yeah,
Surrounding is so important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
important.
100%. Because if you're in that vicinity, like in that area of that energy, you will take that in. And if you're taking that in, you're gonna eventually that's gonna
Yeah.
become you, and then you're gonna put it back out.
you're a
Do you
mark
know what
of
I mean?
the
You-
first 5 people, they say, isn't it, around you?
Yeah. Well, they're the closest people
Yeah,
to
the
you.
closest,
Yeah.
the 5 closest people in your
I
life
agree.
is usually who
You.
you're made up of. Yeah, it's you,
Yeah,
basically.
it's you. If
Yeah.
You are your circle is a similar
yeah,
thing, isn't it?
your
Like, and
circle is you.
I think that's important to keep that in mind when I think when you're younger, you're not as selective.
You're not
with them
selective.
People. Yeah, you know what I
I've
mean?
never been.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, you've ended up with a good circle though. But yeah, that I think
I'm
we're
creating.
creating
now,
a good
now
circle.
I'm
yeah.
creating my circle
Was it
in
did,
UK
Yeah. Did you have
because I
a?
left my
Your old
Best circle.
Okay.
in
This is
Georgia,
transitioning nicely.
and it's very hard. It was
Yeah.
very hard for me to deal with that stuff,
Mhm.
because I really, really appreciate my friends and that vibes and that energy that they
What you
gave to
built.
me.
Yeah.
It's important.
Mm. So you had that in Georgia, and then you. So
Of
what
course.
age did you come over to the UK?
Sorry.
What age did you? How old
Age.
were you? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
28 years old. I
28,
was
okay,
When
yeah.
I
So that must have been quite like
Big change.
intimidating at that age to come to, or did you find it? How did you find that when you first?
very hard.
Yeah.
Very. Some people are like, why you are like that? Why it's so hard for you even when you have a partner? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love my partner. I love my husband. I appreciate him. He's doing a lot of stuff for me, but it's it's personal feelings. In the end of the day, it's you.
Yeah.
And it's your personal feelings
Mm-hmm.
that, and it's impossible sometimes to seek that, not validation, to seek that understanding from others,
Yeah,
you know?
we all want that. We all
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain my feelings about that, and not everybody can just feel that I felt in that moment when I left my country, my everything, my music studio where I worked with my childs, my not my childs, my students,
Your students,
Yeah.
my students, and I was with them 4 years, and it was so hard for me to deal with that as well.
But I feel
And
like
in general, it was a new environment, new people, everything is new, and yeah, you know.
I do feel like, you know,
I don't want to.
no,
just
I know what you
finger
mean, but I
out
do
the
feel
feelings.
like the whole reason you got to look at it this way, because the reason why you could say you left Georgia is because you had and you had to leave. You felt you had to go and
Of
explore
course, yeah.
something new. So obviously it was always.
I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. So it was always part of the journey. So even though you have this, like, I wouldn't say it's not regret. It's more reflection.
It's not a no.
But
it's
you
not a regret. It's
no.
100% not a regret, because I know that I really find something in UK, some like peace of mind.
Really?
Yeah. Even I don't know why, but everybody
that reminded you
have
of I'm joking.
that I get that reaction from the people, and I just wonder, because I'm on a state now where I found that peace of mind in UK. I found that.
It's very equal though. Like obviously, you were saying, like, in Georgia, like the traditional values it wasn't working with your character. England, we don't have that. Like it has its traditional setting, but it's very liberal. It's very free. It's very accepting of women's rights, like you were saying. And freedom to express. Like some countries, you're not even allowed to sing and do stuff. So over here, I feel like you can.
Yeah, you're free.
You're fully free to be yourself.
You are not judged by neighbors or something like that.
No.
You can be creative here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The main thing
it.
is, for me, you can be creative here and to create you.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Is
very.
that
Lovely. Big up UK then.
would you say that's the first time we bigged up the UK?
Literally. We've someone that's not from the UK, that says it all.
Yeah, because we're from here, we moan about it. Do you know, like one of them
Yeah,
where
I know. I have British
way you
friends
moan
who
about
are
Georgia.
moaning about
yeah.
UK, and I'm like,
They're probably thinking, why are you so happy?
here?
But
why you are not appreciate your country? I'm like that. I always say to them that you must appreciate more where you live in, because you never know what will be
What's
in
around the
life.
corner.
And
it's very true as well, because I think like we as a country are like spoiled in a way.
Yeah.
That, do you know what I mean? Like even in areas like where around here it's not rough, say, but you go to some areas and the way people are living and is not nice. But yeah, I definitely think sometimes we should appreciate more like the opportunities that we've got, even what we can do, like what we're doing
Going
with
to
ourselves
college
and stuff.
for free education, just
Yeah,
things like
yes,
that.
two things we take for granted, I suppose, but that's just
You're gonna though,
because you've always had it, or
yeah.
you've always been here, I suppose.
and you could argue that some people would say that England lacks tradition, or we've lost our way. That's a big thing that you hear in England. So I feel like
there's just a bit of a it's probably a bit of a different experience for you, but from our perspective, there's a lot of like miserable people here, if you know what I mean, like not happy.
One-upmanship.
Like you were saying about the knowing yourself and being open. I know a lot of people that are like trapped. Do you know what I'm saying? So I end up, and I probably was a bit like that when I was younger, because you get dragged in by it, and then you end up wanting to be really far away from it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think we see a lot of that, like that trapped feeling in the UK. But I suppose when it's somewhere new to you and it's more free in your mind, do you know what I mean? That's probably why you feel like that.
yeah, very true, because I see many unhappy people here, many, but not everybody have that luck in life, or opportunities in life, and I understand them as well. I don't think about them why they are not happy, and I'm not judging them. I'm not like the person like that to judge other people. Even when I see the people who are not looking after themselves, I don't want to say that the specific words now, but when I see people who are letting themselves down, even in the streets, I don't want to judge them, because they are cope with the stress like that way,
in different ways.
In different ways we are coping with stress,
but we're creative
our ways, some people are creative, some people are create their stuff, like you videos, your lyrics, somebody's finding their coping mechanism, working out, gym, somebody's in running, somebody's eating, somebody, it's the coping. Drinking alcohol.
We've all got ways to
cope
deal with
it.
our feelings,
yes,
and how we feel about things. And I definitely think that's probably true I always think when you look at people, like there's people who are unhappy or miserable, or say, like you were saying, letting themselves down, or say homeless people, whatever it is, they're not like don't necessarily want to be that way. You don't want to be unhappy. No one wants to be unhappy. Do you know what I mean? So there's always some kind of it roots from some kind of pain somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like
and I think
the unresolved sort of thing.
And I think that everybody can take themselves together, piece by piece,
rebuild.
but it takes courage, determination. You should be fearless to see yourself to the other side, you know, to like. But it's very difficult for people to do that, you know. It takes strength within, and the people just don't have it.
Some people don't have it though.
They
don't, and I think when say our country is a little bit easier, so some people haven't had to be strong,
It's not as much of
and
a
so
struggle.
they haven't got it built in. Would you say that being from Georgia, where things can be a bit harder or it's not as free,
it's hard,
helps give you that strength though? You think?
I think strength always comes within, always. But you can build your character. You can build through the mistakes, I think, through the hard times in your life. I've been through so many things in life, to be honest, and I think that hard things create.
Well,
who I
pressure
am
makes
now.
diamonds, as they say. So at the end of the day, if you're under pressure,
I think it's nice. I think I will never judge the person who are making mistakes, even, you know. And there are so many people in my life who are telling me to Sophia, don't make mistakes. It's bad for you. No, it's not bad for me.
Yeah.
It's so good to
it's a
me.
lesson.
It's progress.
It's a progress. If you don't make mistakes, you will never grow. You will never grow.
The biggest turning point in people's lives come from mistakes. Like the worst mistake I ever made was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
deep down in the end,
yeah.
the lesson it taught you.
And then you know when you frame things like that, even not mistakes, but like, you know, like hardships that happen, and then in the moment you can say to yourself, actually, this is gonna help me.
Yeah.
This is gonna make me stronger. And I think once you change that mindset, when you're in the middle of bad things going on, you don't enjoy it, but you revel in being able to show your strength, because you know it's going to make you stronger. So like when something bad pops up
Or hard task comes in the way.
yeah, you think to yourself, actually, this is going to make me a bit stronger. And you kind of like, when you frame it like that, you can get through pretty much
You're not
anything.
as fearful though, are you? I feel like when you know you've got something hard coming up, you can prepare for it. And even if you're not prepared, you learn the resilience for next time. So if something happens, you go, I know what I did. I stuck on. Or
your brain remembers that you got through the other hard thing, and your brain goes, hang on a minute, you know what I mean? If I can get through that, I can get through this and this. Yeah.
I wanted to speak about the opportunity though, because what you were saying, you know, some people don't have the opportunity. That's why they're in that situation. But then I look at someone like yourself and I think, well, you made your opportunity. So I think it goes down to mindset also, and how your brain is wired, because some people, they don't have drive. They don't have any passion. And I think someone like you, it doesn't matter where you're from, basically. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it. And yeah, I don't know. I think really it's all down to the character.
It's very true. Character is the main thing as well. So I think there is some stuff, as I mentioned, that it comes from within, but some things you can learn from the life, because living, learning always. But you know, when I remember myself in Georgia, for example, there was so many circumstances, so many difficult things in my life when I wanted to stop. I wanted to stop singing. I wanted to just, you know, because I was listening to other people's opinions.
Yeah, it gets like that.
You know, when I was in X Factor of Georgia, I get so many negative stuff about me. They are saying that I can sing, I'm not beautiful or something like that.
Always, people are gonna hate though.
Yeah, haters. They are always.
They're everywhere.
You know
They're not
what
happy
I mean?
with their own lives.
Yeah. So, but
we always end up on
We
the
always on
haters.
the- we
but
always-
it was
it's
natural.
true.
Yeah.
it is.
It was natural, and I understand now. I was upset that times, but now I know.
Well, yeah, but hate
it was for a reason.
It transmute, because sometimes hate, as much as it can bring you down, it gains
Push you
attention.
forward.
And
Yeah.
you've got to accept that as an artist. You're putting yourself on the line.
Yeah, I accepted that easy.
And it make you determined as well. Like, so like the more people hate or the more people tell me I can't do something. My mum always says that. She always laughing like that. if she wants me to do something, she'd tell me I can't do it. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm like, well,
Negative
actually,
suggestion, that's what I'm saying.
I am going to do it now. Do you know what I mean?
I will
But-
prove you wrong.
yeah, literally. And then I think as well, immaturity plays into that. So like when you're younger, for example, when you're at school and things, and everyone's very judgmental at them ages, and people, they don't like to see someone that's like you
Doing
said,
something
free
different.
or branching out. Yeah, because when they're younger, they don't know themselves as well, so they tend to be even though they seem free in some senses, they're not free in their personality.
That's why they don't
And so they put down everyone else's. Yeah, because you're free.
You're too confident.
Yeah.
basically.
They don't
Yeah.
like you. Never.
And I think it's scary for people. So it's
Very.
like it's the same when someone has an idea that's right, but it's not what everyone thinks.
Yeah,
And so
opposes the
it
masses.
scares them
Yeah,
because
it scares.
they have to come out of themselves to
Very true.
listen to it, sort of thing.
Very true. And I think that we were talking about the people who are unhappy. That kind of people will be always unhappy. And
Yeah.
till that time, they should realize who they are inside.
Look in the mirror, isn't it? Really,
Just that.
Once they can, I've listened to someone saying, "You're as strong as the amount of truth that you can face." So how
About
long you
yourself,
can look in the
yeah.
mirror is how strong you are. Do you know what I mean? And one thing I think is, if you can look in the mirror and you can see the bad parts of you, you can see everything. You know what I mean? You're not looking away from
You're
anything.
not hiding away.
You've always got that inner strength at that point, because there's not really anything. That's
no
probably
one
the
can
scariest thing.
bring you down at that point because you've
Yeah.
accepted who you are.
Someone can say something negative. I'm like, yeah,
Like,
I know.
I already know.
Listen, I looked at myself in the mirror last night and I know.
To be honest, it's very fair to say that.
Yeah.
Say that word. It's very fair
Yeah,
to the people straight away.
yeah,
Just say that and just leave them.
yeah. That's a good way to do it.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Well,
I always do that.
They won't know what to do.
I always do that, to be honest.
I
and
see
with
ya.
pleasure. Yeah, I always
I think
see
all of us
people,
do that.
always.
I think all of us have probably got a story where we probably overshared our opinion too much on someone.
Yeah.
And I no longer speak to that
Yeah,
person
yeah.
anymore. But
Yeah.
it's part of life.
But it's truth.
I did want to.
Honest people. I'd rather. Sorry, brother. I was just gonna
That's
add
all right.
at the end. Just
And honesty.
Yeah,
That
honest.
word.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is-
I like that word.
that's a good word.
Very.
It is.
The truth hurts, as they
yeah.
say. You know what I mean? I said
Well,
it to
that-
my boy the other day.
It's. I think honesty plays into all the other aspects of like creativity, passion, knowing yourself, everything. Because we talk about artists that aren't being themselves with their music, say, so like they're following a trend or they're doing something, and I always think I can tell, like when even like say someone's voice or their way they carry themselves, like I can tell if they're not.
It's not
It's not,
authentic.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
of
always says
course.
authentic.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because
so
something is not natural with that. You
Yeah, it's
know,
not
you
honest.
always feel fakeness.
yeah, yeah.
Fate is the whole.
And that honest,
Oh my
I think
God.
honest
Yes.
people who are being themselves, so they're being real or whatever.
Yeah.
They see other people like that and they identify it. Like you were saying, when you first meet someone and you can see, oh, okay, that person's comfortable in
They're
themselves.
free.
And so, yeah, they're carrying the freedom with them. And I think you can identify that in other people quite quickly. Do you know what I mean? So it's easier, as you get older, it's easier to find your circle maybe. Because it doesn't take as long to work someone out. Because you know yourself and you can see them better. Like you were saying
It's
earlier.
easy, to be honest, very easy when you know yourself to find your circle, because when you walk in the room, you already know.
Yeah.
Just one step in the room.
Yeah,
And
you can see. But I think you can also tell by how people look at you. So sometimes you probably had it, and we've all had it, where you walk into a room. The people that don't always look at you, they're probably the more relaxed ones. It's the people that give you that look, and you think,
Yeah.
Oh,
Because they
yeah,
see
yeah.
your freedom coming
Yeah,
through the
they're
door
like,
and they're
yeah,
like, oh, fuck that.
the other free person's just probably chilling, being
Yes,
free.
of
They don't even
course.
clock.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
come in like, oh, you're right, you're there. But
and you always feel that. You know?
Yeah.
And the kind of people who are not, who are
No, it's all right.
do you think that?
sorry. Yeah, I'm learning English. I'm still
That's
on my
cool.
journey.
I wanted to get onto this.
Yeah, and sometimes my brain is, stuck.
Yeah.
So okay, that kind of people will never see you winning in life as well, and it's so important to have your circle and to get out of that circle who are not accepting you, and to move forward, and to be you, and to be fearless,
Not hold
And-
on.
to do your stuff.
Because that will hold you
Always.
back, that other circle. And one thing I wanted to say is, don't you think it's interesting, like you were saying about how you can, it's easy to find your circle. And like the fact, when someone says circle, people would assume they mean like people that are very similar to them. But what I think it is it's like, what I think's amazing about it is it doesn't have to be similar to you in your personality. It's just in your freedom or your outlook. Do you know what I mean? On
You
your
haven't
vibe.
got to be
100%.
creative.
So-
you don't have to be all musicians and stuff.
But I just mean as well in your personality. So like, say you can, when you are in that space, your circle isn't them three people. They're not like all into the same things. They're all different, completely different. Like we're saying
That's
about
a
how
team,
different
though.
we are. Me and him are.
Yeah.
But you're just on that same level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing that you can have that. The best circle isn't the same
beautiful.
circle.
Diverse.
Yeah, it's not the same circle.
It's not same circle. I can say about myself as well, because I don't have only musicians in my circle. I have very creative people in my life, in my circle. So I'm still creating my circle.
It's still building it.
I'm still.
It takes time.
good.
I'm still.
It's
But
still
I know.
working.
I know that.
It's building. It's building
I
now.
feel.
I feel. I very feel. Now, what I was going to say to you, so obviously you brushed over X Factor in Georgia. So how did that all come about?
You know, I don't know why, but I always wanted to just compete.
Okay.
But it's, you know.
Are you quite a competitive person, would you
I
say?
was.
Are you not now then?
You know, how to explain, like, I wanted to prove that I'm good
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah.
And that mindset I had very long time
Okay.
as well, to prove someone that you are good enough in something.
Do you think that was more like to prove to other people, or do you think were you trying to prove it to yourself?
So it was for other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can
So
see.
now it's different. Game has changed, but it was I was living through other people's lenses.
Yeah.
And I realized now that the competitions like X Factor, Voice of Georgia, in general, Voice or the stuff like that, it's not very helpful. You know why?
Well, you're on TV.
It's the hardest part. Yeah, you are on TV, you are famous, but the hardest part in that competitions is that so many people, especially producers, the team, staff, they want to see different you, not real you. They don't want
create
to
one.
Yeah,
They
well, it's
don't want
artificial
Sophia.
version.
They
Yeah.
don't want Jake. They don't want
Tyler.
They don't want you. They want somebody else.
They want to
there.
mold you.
because they don't see your personality. Even they are not questioning you, what you want to sing, what you want to wear, how you want to look. No, they are not interested in that. You just doing what they want you to be. You know what I mean?
Fit in like a package.
Yeah,
And
they
that's
are
the
fitting
view.
you
But it's
they
very-
are creating you.
Yeah.
And so many artists are struggling to find themselves and to be creative after that project.
Yeah, I suppose
It's very hard.
Yeah.
it's a very
to be-
Hollywood mindset. You know, like how like Hollywood is like that. It's like there's an image. Like you
Same.
can't stray away
It's
from
same.
the status quo almost. You have to like be what they want you to be.
Commercial,
and
isn't
if
it?
you don't
Commercial.
do that, then you don't get you don't get success though. You see a lot of these people, because a lot of the time you'll find with these competitions, it's always the person that comes second that actually seems to do
Because
the
they're
most.
being themselves a bit
they're
more.
like, like Ollie Murs. I remember. Do you know Ollie Murs from X Factor? He's a UK.
I know. He's nice.
Yeah, he came second, and he is like a massive artist now. And he was such a lad on the show. He was, he was just being free. So again, it shows testament, freedom. Freedom obviously does bring success.
And going back into sort of the music career a little bit, or well, it could be just more life as well. What would you say is your biggest achievement so far?
To find myself.
Defining yourself.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good one. You're not trying to
That
put
is.
any material label on it. You're not saying, "Oh, I
No,
did this."
I'm not interested about materialistic things in life. Never. I never did. I never
Mm.
used to be like that. Never. The most important things in my life is values and principles that I have inside. And I will never cross that lines in my life, because I really believe that I want to be that I want to be, and I really believe that I'm here for something. Even in UK, I really believe that I have a purpose.
Destiny.
I have a purpose, and I'm really religious person. I really believe in God. So I know that God is with me, and He creates every hard things and I've been through, and this was
for
a purpose.
For you to grow and
Everything.
become who you are.
Everything has purpose. Yeah. So obviously, because I spoke to you about some questions earlier. So if you could give your younger self any advice with the current mindset you got now, what would it be?
Okay. Very nice question.
That's a good question. Well done.
Yeah, very. I would say that don't be afraid.
I was expecting that one.
Just don't be afraid.
Just keep moving. Like, simple. Don't overcomplicate the message. Yeah. I always think about that. You know, there's so many times when I'm like, when I made a song and I'm like, oh, I'll put that out. And then, you know, you don't put it out. And I listen to it like 2 years later and I'm like, that was a good song. Like, what was I thinking? And I think, yeah, you judge yourself way too much in your younger years. And also, you know, going back to what we said about when you hang out with people who you wouldn't always be with, it's almost like, when you're younger, you're all mixed up.
You don't see that it takes away from you.
Yeah, you're not
being with them people starts to fuck you up.
Yeah, but whereas like when you got a good song, say for instance, you judge that part of it, but you won't judge them. So like what I've learned in life, all the judgments that you make early on, they usually are based on yourself. Whereas as you get older, you learn more about yourself and you start looking at others and you think, well, hang on, I know who I am. And yeah, it's a big, I feel like the tables turn dramatically when you actually learn who you are.
And you don't want to judge others. You just let them be.
But yeah, you just see it and you think, just, okay.
Yeah, because there's no need to judge because you see it and you can move on from it. Do you know what I mean? You just
if you don't like, if that energy is not interacting with each other, you just leave the table.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
What out of interest, what would yours be to you?
Yeah, just probably the same. Just don't hold back. Basically, the story I said there is kind of what you said. Just remove that like inner judgment, and I'd probably say be more kind to yourself internally, because everyone has like an internal monologue, which is what I like to call it. Like we all speak to ourselves in a certain way. So mine would be like just be much kinder to yourself, because we're probably all our worst enemy. Yeah. So yeah, man. What would yours be?
Similar, probably.
Similar,
just,
yeah.
No, I don't know. Mine would be more just kind of like what you were saying about lying to yourself. I think when I was more of a, like, say, in a teenager and that, I lived more about what people thought of me and that fed what I thought of myself, if you know what I'm saying. And when I fully looked at that and dealt with that, I think I just became a bit of a different person, where I'm not doing things. I'm doing things for me rather than for what I think.
Because nobody can live your life. Nobody.
Yeah. And I think I always battled with the both. Do you know what I mean? I was always doing a bit of both.
Life's a conflict though, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think resolving, I'd have just told myself to look in the fucking mirror, basically.
Yeah, tranquilo.
Look in that
Relax.
mirror,
Yeah.
But
don't look too deep, like look deep, but then I feel some like there's only so deep you can go, as they say. In England, we got this expression, they say down the rabbit hole. You don't want to look too deep into yourself. I don't know, you probably have a similar expression you say from Georgia, but you can't go
accept things about yourself.
Yeah,
don't.
Yeah. Life is also external. It's not always internal. It's a balance. So I think
it's a balance, but it's so hard to find that balance. You know,
yeah.
It's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
To find that balance.
So back to the sort of the music. Where, what are you doing at the moment with music? Obviously, you've we know you're in a band. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
So I want to thank you, first of all, to make for us a brilliant video.
Oh, thank you for
I'm
very
getting proud of it, really. I'm so happy to know you now. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm so proud of my band, and I'm so proud of myself as well, because in 1 year, I made it. I have my band now, and we're moving forward every day.
Oh.
Personally, I'm working towards it every day to get more gigs and more concerts, to be involved in as much as festivals and
everything.
To do some stuff, to just move forward. And I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy.
So how did...
And thankful.
Yeah. Well, first, thank you for getting me in to do the video. I really enjoyed it, and it was a little bit different.
Thank you so much.
Different to some of the stuff.
Enjoyed it, yeah. It's sick.
I'm happy.
I've seen some clips. I don't know if I've seen the full video, but I've seen some of the clips. It was looking really nice, man.
And I listening to it when I edit, like I was loving it. Do you know what I mean? And I played it to a few different people.
It's nice. I'm happy to hear that, to be honest.
Well, I showed it a few people, and they all really rated it. 100%. But so with the band, where did you guys first meet?
So first, when I came in the UK, so I started to search for jobs, and the first thing I did, it was sending the emails about myself, my singing stuff to venues, and
just putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and then I just get in one of the venues in Leamington, and I was talking with a manager, and they just give me advice to go in a Bedford Street in Leamington and to sing there in open mic. Maybe I will, meet someone. And I sing there just one time, and I met Miles.
That's mad. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
God is with you.
Oh my God.
That's
Really,
brilliant.
now I think about it, and yes. And Miles suggested me to be their band soloist after 1 month later.
But after a little bit after it, so you worked together after that. Did you connect after that?
We are not working together, no.
Okay.
It was just one time we had a gig. One time, yes.
And it worked, and it was a good gig.
It was a good gig, not a good gig.
But like,
Sorry.
but for the first time.
I'm lying now. No,
Come
it
on, it
wasn't
was a
nice.
good mirror. It was
but,
good.
but yes, no. It wasn't a nice gig. Not.
That's so funny.
It was awful. But
Dying over here. Very hot today.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
We're all dying.
Literally, we'll get aircon on.
But yeah, so it was a gig that was good, but not that good.
What happened to the being truthful?
Well, she checked herself, so she was that was she held up the mirror in front of us.
Literally.
okay.
You're lying to yourself.
No.
There you go. Carry on. So it was a good gig, but it was a good first time gig because at least you get to like figure each other out. Because sometimes you can work with someone and you're like, oh nah, that wasn't it. But if you can work for the first time and like click,
we felt that energy. We had that, crossing levels of energy, like chemistry, or how to say it correctly. The connection. So yeah, Miles saw me like a person, my personality, my talent, everything, and he just grabbed me and just
Yeah, it's like we're having a.
I feel like you represent the band though, because I know that band. Obviously, I know Miles and Parajit. Like big up them too, because
they are awesome.
They was in a music video that we did, but I know, like, I feel like for you coming into that band, like you were probably like a breath of fresh air for them, because it's like they've got an amazing vocalist, and now they can probably push themselves forward. So it's beneficial.
They give me so much energy because I feel so much appreciation and trust for them.
Yeah.
And
that's what a band should be.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy for them, and I'm thankful, guys. Thank you. Sending you love and hugs from here. Really, it's real.
I think that's so important when you're working together on any project, I suppose, in any sort of industry. But like, I've got to trust the people around me, because you can't be in them environments where, like you said, when you're being creative, you are sort of at your you're kind of vulnerable, if you know what I mean, because you're kind of putting yourself out, and you've got to have good people that you trust to tell you the truth. So like they won't tell you something's good if it's not, but also not to tell you it's bad for the wrong reasons. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been around people.
Criticism, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been around people that I know there's nothing. Say I show them something.
They are not honest.
Yeah,
they are not honest.
And they've told me something's wrong with something, probably to just make themselves feel good or superior.
Always.
And it's not actually wrong with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you just got to make sure that the people that you're putting around yourself with your work are trusted, and they're there for the right reasons. And obviously them guys are.
They trust me, and they believe in me, and I believe in them, and it's a teamwork in the end of the day. And I feel that teamwork, and we are family. We are always saying to each other that we are family. And I feel that it's not just words, it's an action.
Your music's like, your music is madness. You're creating sounds with people. You're giving people entertainment,
energy.
Well, yes, you are giving out energy. Like, music's the only thing. Like, not vocals, just instrumentation is where everyone can understand. Doesn't matter what language you speak. So like, to be part of something like that, where you can go into a venue like where you shot the video and provide. You have to be close with them people, because it's real energy. It changes people.
Well, we always, like, we've known each other pretty much our whole lives. But we become much closer when we started working together on creative stuff, and it's kind of the same thing where you go from a level of like being friends or whatever, and you have to go to a different level of like family. Do you know what I mean? Because because you know each other in a different way at that point. I think
it's not easy though, is it?
It's not easy, but it's
it's not easy.
It's not easy, but it's easy. It's not easy, but at the same time, it's easy.
No, it's not. Yeah, but it's easy because
it's easy
because we've got the mindset for it, and because we want to persevere. We don't want to wake
natural.
up. It's natural.
I'd say rather than easy, like it's not easy, but it's natural.
It's natural.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So you just
word.
go. It
Very
just
correct word.
happens.
Yeah, even if it's hard, you get through it.
It's the same with the like you. He was clearly saying that it's hard sometimes.
No,
but because
nothing is hard.
No,
it's natural. Everything is natural.
And because it's natural, that it won't always be
nice.
It won't always be smooth.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because it is natural, and you can be natural around each other. Sometimes that'll be bumpy, or sometimes you're gonna not fall out, but to have disagreements because you can be passionate and honest with each other. So it's like it's gonna be bumpy at the same time.
And you said the very wise words, because not many people want you to learn some stuff. When I first realized that system here works different way than in Georgia, it's obvious because it's different environment. So but it took so long time for me to learn that stuff, but without Miles and PJ it will be worse. It will.
They're helping you on the journey.
They helped me already, and I'm so thankful and happy for that, because so many people don't want to tell you the truth, because through that truth you can jump very easily, and
you find out more.
To save time, to save years, maybe, and
well, it's crazy.
It makes sense.
Do you ever see people who like with music, so for example, both of your music I genuinely like, and you're both genuinely talented, but like I've been around, when you see people who genuinely aren't, like they're not, so like they might but they might be good at something else, but everyone's good at something, like they might be good at something else, but you think, how has nobody told them? Do you know, like someone who's genuine? I'm not on about like just,
no names.
I'm not on about average, I'm on about terrible. Like on X Factor in England, they always have the terrible people at the beginning, and you think, how has their family let them go on and embarrass? Like, why is there no honest people saying that is rubbish? Like, you know what I mean though? Like,
I don't know.
There is not only people who are going there and just showing themselves, who are not talented. There is some stuff that can't be avoided. For example, there is a group of people. I know guys, but I want to say it. There is a group of people who are working on that shows. For example, Britain Got Talent. And there's auditions. There's funny people go there.
They want to get people on there.
They are. It's easy because they know how to engage people.
But they need the numbers. They want the viewers.
So they let the rubbish
simple.
ones through. But I mean more like, how is the like family members or friends of that person? Do you know, like, say if I started trying to sing and I can't sing at all, and I tell him that I'm going to go to an audition, and he should tell me no. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, it's all about honesty
don't
then.
do it.
Yeah,
it's all about honesty then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, them. How can they not be
honesty?
But then I also
it's dangerous not to have honesty in your life, because you could end up.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah,
it is. But then I also think, I mean, and one of my I don't know, opposing argument you could say to that is, who is anyone to say that you can't go on and express yourself?
There's levels.
No, I know, but like, if
levels.
that's what they want to do, if we really break it down, like they're gonna be the ones that.
But people are lying to them. Like there's
of course.
There's a difference between someone expressing himself and embarrassing
But what if they want to go on?
Do you know what I mean? There is a difference. Yeah, but of course they want to, because they've been told they're good.
Yeah, but I don't know.
They genuinely believe they're good. And then how horrendous is it when everyone's laughing at someone in a room and that person doesn't know they're being laughed at? So it's your duty as a friend, as a family member, to be
your duty.
Honest. Yeah,
100%. You should say them honestly.
from a good place, though. Do you know what I mean? Not from putting
jealousy
people down.
Or ego.
Yeah,
no good.
It's
no good.
Quit.
But sometimes, Jake, sometimes you see person how how much they want to
how much
do.
it means to them.
Yeah.
You're gonna break their heart if you say you're
Yeah.
shit.
You
Like,
shouldn't do that.
That's what I mean.
You just step back
Yeah.
and sit
Yeah,
and
yeah.
relax and just be supportive.
Yeah,
If
go
it's
on.
if it's that
Yeah,
much,
yes,
if
yeah.
it's that,
That's what I
if
think.
it's
Because
that
it's
big,
break them sometimes.
yeah,
That's what I
if it's that big to them, but if there's like, usually that's been put in them for years and
Yeah.
years. So like as a kid, or say as they got older, there should be people that nicely say, and if they continue to want to do something and it's their life's goal, that's a bit different, because you can't
I
just
agree.
ruin someone's dream. But like, for example, I've had
Let them down gently.
I've had big edits, like big projects where it was my biggest opportunity, and I've shown it to someone and they've said something I didn't like. Like it hurt me to hear that it wasn't, maybe change that.
You like, that's
And
my
I
favourite
struggle
bit.
to take that, because I've just given myself to that edit, and I'm like,
Does that mean
it
I'm
hurt.
shit then?
But yeah, and you can have them feelings and you have to process it. But I'm glad that I've got them people around me, because I changed it and it was better. So like, in my own personal opinion is, like,
Stop being attached to
I
your
don't
own
need
work
it. Yeah,
all the
I
time.
don't. No, but not even that. I don't need my feelings to be thought about. Tell me the truth. Simple as that. And I know some people, you can't just destroy their dreams or whatever. But for you to lead a fulfilling and good life, you need to be honest. You need people to be honest to you. Do you know what I mean? You can't be convincing yourself that you can lift 200 kilos if you can't. You're gonna break your
100%.
arms. You're gonna hurt yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's a similar thing. So if you look at it like that, in the gym, you're not going to tell some scrawny, skinny kid,
Go on, lift that.
go on, lad, and then watch him break.
I
And
knew
try
you'd
his
do
leg.
it.
Yeah.
I'll let
It's
him.
very true as well. Yeah, I agree. I agree
Know
with
your
that.
limits.
Your point of view as well, because
It's a 50-50, isn't
it's
it?
50-50.
Yeah, it's a balance with it.
It's a balance.
That's all
yeah.
it boys.
Yeah.
You see,
It's
you
about-
see
yeah.
The yin and the yang.
But yeah, you should always be protective of other people's feelings as well, you know. But
Yeah, don't be harsh.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get back onto the music thing. We keep going back onto the. What I wanted to say is though, so obviously you had to learn English. How did you find like learning? So you obviously singing in Georgian, you're doing the traditional music. How did you find like coming to England, having to learn English, playing in a band? Maybe the music's different. Like, how did you find that transition as an artist?
I raised listening to Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston,
Global.
Nina Simone, and Etta James.
Mm-hmm.
I raised with that music, so I never.
Familiar.
Yeah, it's familiar, of course. And in school in Georgia, we were learning English as well. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you didn't
So
just come. Yeah, you're already quite
the
set up.
basic.
But still, though, it's different. It's still a completely different
It's
culture.
very different. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm coping, and I'm feeling comfortable step by step.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you like both? Like, you obviously you sang in Georgian before. Do you like both, or do you have one that you prefer, or is it just different?
I like Georgian as well, definitely, and I will never stop to
Traditional, definitely. Maybe mix it in.
That's what I was gonna
want to
say.
listen when
do it.
this
It's
is
interesting. To be
finished.
honest,
I want to
I
listen.
really feel that I want to mix something and to do some stuff like that.
Yeah, because that'd be it's very
different,
unique.
different.
Because that even in the song that we did, obviously it was all in English, but even that's very unique, because you're changing tempo and you're changing like the flow. And I think if you like with some rappers will drop a bit of like French in there or something, and it's
Different language.
yeah,
It's so interesting as well. Yeah,
because
I
it's just
really like
it's unique to them. Do you know what I mean? So I think you should definitely do that. 100%.
I think so.
So in terms of like music, so you got a lot of shows on. Would you say like you're more like a live performer? Is that like the main sort of thing that you're doing right now, live performances or any studio stuff
I'm started to create my own songs.
in the studio?
To be honest, just now,
Okay.
not in the studio.
Just crafting them.
Just yes, and I found that I always writing in Georgia poems, just poems,
Yeah,
in Georgian.
Mm-hmm.
But now I found myself to do lyrics as in English.
Yeah.
I was just about to
It's
say this to you. I
crazy.
always have this question I ask people that don't speak English, isn't their first language. It might seem random. What language do you dream in? Do you like think in Georgian or do you think in English? Do you think?
Georgian.
So you think?
Yeah,
So,
Georgian.
yeah, no,
It's
it's
quite an
interesting. No,
interesting
because I meet a
question.
lot of
Georgian
people.
always
And
will be
they-
Georgian,
So you
always.
think? Okay, so when you're say you're walking around, you're thinking about stuff. You're talking to yourself in Georgian.
in Georgian,
Okay.
and it's and English. It's my fourth.
Fourth language. How many?
Wow.
So how many languages? So what?
Four.
So what are they? What are they?
So Georgian, Russian, Armenian, and English.
Wow. Amazing.
And here we are, just some
like,
people.
what?
Yeah, we barely speak English.
Yeah, okay, mate.
That's amazing, though.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
What were you saying before that?
No, I was just basically, we was basically just talking about like the transition to the English music. Then I just said,
You were saying about writing
So
lyrics.
now
poems in Georgian.
So now I'm writing lyrics for my songs, my own songs in English, and it's involving, and I'm so happy to be creative. I'm started to be creative now.
Well, you're expanding your language as well, though. I feel like, obviously, because you say you're still learning. I suppose it's interesting to write all these lyrics down because it's good to put pen to paper, basically.
I like paper and pen. I will
Yeah,
never, I
no
always
phone, no phone lyrics, no.
never.
Such a
I'm
rapper's thing.
old
Yeah,
lady. I don't know why, but even when we had our first gig on a terrace in Leamington, so it was very funny because I appear with papers.
Yeah.
When people saw me. Miles saw me and he is like,
Oh no.
no, I don't want to see that. Sophia, just, leave me alone now.
Yeah, memorize.
I don't like it.
I prefer that,
he was
though.
so supportive, but, I found myself confident like that. And I never felt something that somebody can just watch me, look at me and say that, it's not professional.
Of course it's professional.
I don't care
Fuck
because
them.
I felt so calm about it.
That's it, though.
I knew that I did nice stuff
Yeah,
to people. I sing nice, they are happy while I'm singing. So
I think that's better.
So-
I think they're writing it down.
I mention
nice,
it because
yeah.
I like papers, I like paper and pen even, I like smell of the books.
Yeah, yeah.
I like smell of it, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing is, if you're in the studio, I've written in paper, and I'm like,
Yeah, I will.
I'm making noise, and then like when I turn the page, it's like, and I'm like, oh.
I like.
I think
Yeah,
sometimes when you record, you don't you don't turn the page.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah,
pages.
I
because
like-
when you try and turn, you can hear
And
it.
pens, different pens,
Yeah.
creative pens. I like it.
The whole process.
I really love
That's
it.
I used to write stuff, and I look back at it a couple of years later, and it was so scrappy. Do you know, like it would just be like something up here sideways, and then it would be like back down to the.
So the
like,
genius's handbook.
or like notes everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even write in lines. It was
Yeah.
like little mini paragraphs in places.
Wait, where was I?
Yeah, I used to do that with ideas. To be fair, I used to prefer writing stuff down, but now it's phones. They just take over, don't they?
Yeah, so
So
you should follow the trends,
Yeah,
because
true.
if you're not following the trends,
fall behind.
So
that's
just
I don't like to follow. I don't
Really?
know why.
I would not have guessed.
I don't know why, but I found it about myself. It's a new thing about myself. I always thought about myself that I love to chase trends, but no.
no.
Yeah, but you want to set trends.
Be original.
You set
Yeah.
the trends.
I don't want to. You don't
want to follow. You want to be
You
the
wanna
one
do
that
you-
you
do
want to be the
yourself.
one that everyone follows.
It's natural. I don't know why, but I accepted about that one about myself because I was so upset when somebody was saying to me that, Sophia, you are acting like an old lady now. You don't like that. You don't like that. You don't follow that trend because I don't like
yeah,
it.
No, fuck that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
do
found
whatever
that
you wanna do.
myself now, just and I'll accept it now. That okay, yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy for that.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. If that's what you think, that's
That's
what you
it,
think.
yeah.
Sound.
That's when it becomes more fun, though, right? Surely, like creating's more fun when you just don't care what people are thinking about
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
we always say this. Like, this is one of my favorite lines. Like, creativity is like a diary entry. So
Yes.
when you write your diary entry, you don't care what anyone thinks because it's your day.
Yeah, it should be for yourself.
So
Of course,
that's what
You
the
should be happy about it. You
Yeah.
know, not everyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
You should be happy, and you should accept
Yeah.
who you
that
are.
situation and
Yeah.
everything.
Facts.
And to sort of finish up just about the band and stuff. So where do you see yourself? Like, where do you want to take that? Do you know what I mean? What are the next steps? Like, what's the future hold for Sophia and the band?
I think that we should do more our stuff, personal stuff, personal things,
Get in the
Yeah,
music,
studio,
definitely.
because
create.
it's so important to have personal songs, not only covers.
Not covers.
Not only covers, yeah.
Yeah, because you can only do so much with covers, can't you? Because it's still someone else's stuff, so you can't really
Yeah, but-
release it commercially and stuff. So like, you could start building that catalog of your own music. Do you know what I mean?
You just drop them in, don't you? When you do the covers, you just play one of your own. So
Yeah, and it's not very interesting for you. Just maybe you enjoy to sing some songs there, to enjoy that like nice tunes or something, but it's never be interesting for you always to do that.
Yeah.
You should do your stuff to be more interested.
Yeah, yeah.
That's more
For
of an
yourself
artist,
as
isn't
well.
it? Yeah.
First of all, you should be interesting for yourself to be interesting for others.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If not interesting for yourself, you will
Yeah, if you're
be-
bored by it.
No
you're
one's gonna
bored,
be interested
boring.
in- yeah,
You are
yeah.
boring, and that's it.
Yeah. And that is it. Done.
That's it.
Well, I feel like you're more of a performer, though, aren't you? You're not really an artist when you do that. I feel like you just feel like you are just performing. I feel like, especially if you think you're an artist, like you should definitely be like, right, gonna
So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I don't want to be only a
performer.
performer
No,
now.
Yeah.
definitely
Because
not.
I know that I can be more.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you already are an artist. It's just about implementing it, isn't it? And just like
You are right.
being like, I'm doing this now. Is you'll know when the time's right, but I feel like it's already happening.
So if we checked back in a year, what do you reckon will have happened? Like what in a year's time, where will the band be? Do you mean
Far.
far?
But
Very, very
far.
far.
I like that. I like that. Movement.
Because I have that determination. I have that desire.
Mm.
And-
Yeah.
And I'm moving forward to it.
Yeah,
Actions.
nice.
I think it will work out.
Yeah, I love that.
And
love
what I
that.
want to say to follow on from that, so like, for like everything you've achieved and like where you are now, and obviously like Jake said, the future. Like, what do you want like your legacy to be? Like Sophia, have you got a band name? Is there a name of the band?
Sophia and the band. Yeah, it's easy and simple name. I don't
Okay,
know.
so obviously, what do you want your legacy to be? Like, how do you want to be remembered? If people say Sophia and the band, how do you see that memory?
Okay, so I think that my band will help me to do my personal stuff as well. So I don't think that I will leave my band, but I know that it will be opportunities in my life.
Like a
When-
catalyst for opportunity.
when-
yeah.
Maybe I will move forward. Not maybe I will move forward, but sometimes without them as well.
Yeah.
And I think they will be happy about it, and they will let me do more by myself, sometimes without them. But they will be always my band, and they will be always with me.
Nice.
Even
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where I will be.
Well, they give
Yeah.
you an opportunity. I suppose they've given you an opportunity to be you and well, basically fulfill your dream. You've come over here, so you are forever grateful. Definitely, no, it's what you need, though, don't you?
Yeah.
You need to be grateful. Obviously,
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, good. Well, that's
So grateful,
that's good,
and I
man.
feel blessed.
Well,
Very.
thank you for coming in. We feel blessed to have had you. It was
Yeah.
a good podcast.
Thank
was
you
a really
so
good
much.
podcast.
Thank
But
you.
yeah,
I'm so
thank
happy.
you for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
It was
Sophia.
brilliant.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.